11:50 p.m. in the East, streaming live on Pride48.com. It's time for The Mix. My name is Daniel Brewer. I do not do this show alone. I do it with my apparently blind co-host, Adam Burns. Adam, how are you this evening? I'm trying to.
I'm muted. Why am I blind?
While the theme is playing, I'm going, are you in original audio? Are you in original
Yes, I am,
music?
but I didn't understand that sign language. Yeah.
It wasn't official sign language. I should be embarrassed because I took ASL as my foreign language in college, and no, that was not official ASL in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I apologize to all of our deaf listeners. Adam, I am doing excellent. Thank you for asking.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be whatever it is, bigoted towards gay or deaf people or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Ableist. Yes.
Ableist, sure. But it made me laugh that you said our deaf listeners, because if they're deaf, they could not be a listener. Right.
Deaf, much like autism, deafness is on a spectrum, Adam. There are people that can hear some and they can hear faintly and whatever. I'm sure we have some deaf listeners. Anyway.
I mean, they could, I guess if they really wanted to, they could pay like a transcription service to do a transcript and they could read our podcast.
Eagle-eared listeners may have noticed that our normal intro, I always say Friday night, and then I say 10 something. Like sometimes we've started as late as 10:45, right? Even though we kind of advertise that we start at 10 o'clock. Adam, why is it that tonight I said 11:50 p.m. in the East? That would be a solid hour and 50 minutes after our supposed start time. What is it, Adam? What
I mean,
was
why
it?
couldn't you be here on time, Daniel?
No.
So I'm sure you were here right on time, and you've been like with the chat room for an hour and a half. I have these haircuts that we've discussed in the past that are 5 hours away from me.
5 hours.
And normally they're on Saturdays, but occasionally my stylist is very busy. Now she's only working every other Saturday. I'm very particular about which stylist I'm with. I'm not just going to go to some strange stylist.
Yes.
And I won't go into details, but something changed. It was originally scheduled for tomorrow, but then I had to move it to Friday. You don't need details. It had to be moved to Friday.
Just because.
Because. It's a long, complicated story, but nobody needs that. So,
I feel like you've dismissed it enough that the dismissal has taken up more time than the long story.
Do you want me to go ahead and go into it?
No. I'm good.
So anyway, so I had it today, and I told you yesterday or day before, I said, hey, I'm going to be 30 minutes late because I had planned it. You know, if I get in the car after my haircut and don't stop at all. So leave early enough in the morning that I can get gas for the return trip, get a snack, get whatever, have that in the car, just scoot it back.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I wanted to get something to eat. And so I was driving back, and I had probably gone 2.5 hours, so about half of the trip.
Okay.
And I stop at a Culver's to get a burger.
A butter burger.
A butter burger. And I had made up so much time. I was going to be early getting back.
Wow.
I was going to have time to do a little prep and everything for the time and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I think to myself as I'm getting back on the highway, yeah, you need to take 44 East.
44.
Yeah, 44 is the highway. You need to get on 44 East, right?
No, actually, I'd get on 44 West.
So I get on.
Adam, I've made this drive. Remember? I've made this drive.
I do. And so I think to myself, oh, I need to take 44 East. So I get on 44 East. Yeah. And I'm watching NCIS on my phone, or not watching, we've described this before, listening to NCIS on my phone.
Recklessly driving down the road.
I'm eating my butter burger. Well, every episode is about 40, 45 minutes, and I'm also eating at the same time.
Yeah.
So I drive about 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I see a sign that says St. Louis, 90 miles. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, no, not east, you dumbass. You were supposed to go west. It's east in the morning when you're going to the haircut, and then it's west when you're coming back. So I lost 2 hours because I had been driving for almost an hour before I realized. Then I had to turn around and drive another hour to get back to the, So anyway, so I was going to be early, and I went from being early to being an hour and a half later than I probably was going to arrive before our normal start time. I don't know what kind of dementia I have now. And then Mark says to me, yeah, exactly. Don't. We would have lost. I mean,
Adam is like, at first it was Adam first place, and then cut back to you later. Oh, you dummy! You should have gone with Adam 7th place.
And
did you make it? Did you make it to the mat? Did you find Phil?
Phil was like, unfortunately, you have been eliminated because this season there were no whatchamacallits? Non-elimination legs. So yeah, that was a reason, and I felt so stupid.
I feel like they cheated on that because they did 2 mega legs, spread over it. So that's the same thing as a non-elimination leg. Anyway, sorry. So yeah,
So I called you. I called Mark. Me. Yeah, I'm like, I'm so sorry to both of you.
I'm a dumbass. I went the wrong way.
I don't know between east and west. I don't know what. And then I wasn't paying attention enough to look at the landmarks and see that I was going. But you've driven that road.
I have.
It's mostly fields. There aren't many landmarks to tell you if you're going the right direction or not until you get to St. Louis or whatever.
So here's the thing. I was thinking about this, and this could never happen to me. And the reason it could never happen to me is because I don't trust myself getting anywhere. And as you know, I'm a huge proponent of technology. And so when I go anywhere, it doesn't matter if I'm driving to work, if I had to go into the office, like when I used to every single day, even then, I'll hit my my navigation system and tell it where I'm going, and it will sit there. If I couldn't go the wrong way, because every alarm would be going off on the dumb thing, like going, make U-turn now, make U-turn now. It's like, so there's no way that I would have, I said like twice in that. There's no way I would have done this.
Yeah, I get that. Mark chastised me because he has to have the navigation on. It doesn't matter. Whereas my mom, and when I was growing up, it was very important when my mom would move to a new city, she would just go out. And of course, this is before we had GPS and phones and all that kind of stuff. She would go out and just drive around for 2 or 3 hours, just getting her bearings and figuring out how to go everywhere. So what I've done, I've been getting this haircut, going to the same place for 5 years now, or however long, more than that probably. Yes. So I have made myself do it without navigation so that I know how to get there. I just want to know how to get there.
I use the navigation for everything because it knows about real-time traffic stuff that I don't have any hopes. Like when I drive from here to Disney, it's an hour, right? So I need to know what the traffic situation is an hour up the road. So that's why I plug everything into Google Maps, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. And Mark wants to know, even if he knows how to get somewhere, he wants to know exactly what time am I going to arrive? Oh, am I beating the time that it said that I was going to arrive? Yeah, he said, well, Boyfie, if you'd had your navigation on, like when I'm with you, it would have I'm like, well, I don't. Okay. And I know how to get there. It was just a stupid slip of the brain where I was like east, west, and then I was on the highway, not thinking I needed to pay attention because I'm on the highway,
This is why we need self-driving cars, Adam. I don't trust people, and I especially don't trust them driving. Anyway.
So that's it. That's why we're late. It's my fault. I
just wanted to get that out of the way, because as you know, Adam, thousands upon thousands of listeners love to hear my weekly running updates as I share with the audience exactly what my progress has been as I train to run in my first 10K, which is coming up. I was thinking about this today. It's coming up in less than a month. April 15th is the day that I have to haul my fat ass out of bed at 3 a.m. and go down to the parking lot at Epcot so that I can run around Disney at 5 a.m. in the morning. But it'll be great. It'll be great. So I wanted to give everyone, my running update because that's what those people like to hear where we were. When we last left off, last week we talked to Taylor the Latte Boy about how he was training and how he was doing. And I announced at that time that we had set up the Pride 48 Runners group on Strava, which is strava.com, strava.com. It is a running app which kind of unifies all of those that may have Apple Watches with those of us that have Fitbits, with those of us that use other health trackers, whatnot. It's a generic social site like that you can follow people and see what their progress is and cheer them on as they do their workouts and things like that. Anyway, the thing that I didn't know when I set up the club was that we were going to get a weekly leaderboard on the club. So I wanted to share with you the leaderboard from last week. Taylor the Latte Boy, first place, ran 6.2 miles last week with a total elevation gain of 172 feet. So, is
it quantity or speed or elevation runner, or a mixture of? No, I mean, how do you win? Like, if you went faster than everyone else, do you? There's two categories. Well, there's three categories on the running leaderboard. There's distance, there's total running time, and there's climbing. Those are the three columns. Taylor the Latte Boy is number one in all three of those. So he's getting ready for Mount Epcot or whatever you're calling it.
In second place is myself with 6 miles running, total running time, 1 hour and 20, and elevation gain of 148 feet. So I'm getting there next week, but this week, I am in the lead because Taylor hasn't posted his run yet. So,
by the way, I listened to your podcast earlier, and I don't do Disney without us. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that you have some scarring on your face, and in your podcast, you mentioned that you injured yourself running this week.
I did, yes, and that's part of it. Yeah, my Tuesday run was cut short because I tripped and fell onto the sidewalk and scuffed up. It's like I looked like Jesus. I had the things in my palms, the scarring in my palms and on my kneecaps, and I hit my right shoulder and the right side of my face. So
you didn't break a hip, did you? Because that's hard to come back from as you get older.
And I feel like it was just because I made fun of Mitch McConnell falling and getting put in the hospital. It's like I feel it was just the universe getting back at me for just like gleefully making fun of Mitch McConnell falling. I
fell this week as well, but I didn't injure myself, although my arm is kind of sore, but it didn't even get bruised. I may have mentioned this on Geeky Gay, but I'm going to mention it again. I've been using Mark's Peloton, and I had to put on these stupid Peloton shoes.
Yeah.
And we have a bench right there in between. He has his he has his Peloton. We have a bench, and then I have my elliptical, and there's a bench right there, perfect for sitting on. I needed to put on the shoes. It's early in the morning. I go to sit down. That thing gave way. I don't mean there was no warning. It was as if there was no attachment of that thing whatsoever. I thought I was going to be sitting. Mm-hmm. No.
You were just further down than you thought. Yes.
And I fell over, and he heard me because I made a bunch of noise and came in. Boyvie, are you okay? Are you? I'm like, I'm all right. I'm embarrassed, but it's one of those adjustable benches. Yeah. And so apparently it was just teetering on the edge of, I don't know. Anyways, so we both fell this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at us. Anyway, so the running update for the week, so that I can finally get around to this, is I've been struggling since my treatment of my illness. I've been struggling to get back up to comfortably being able to do 1:30 synchronously, right? So 1:30 running, 1:30 walking. I was kind of at that on Tuesday. I was doing really well on Tuesday until I fell. I had done 5 cycles of 1:30 before I fell, and I was only scheduled to do 6 cycles, so I only missed the last cycle on it. And then I didn't run on Thursday because of my injuries and my knees were still scabby, icky. And so I ran today. So I ran Tuesday and then today, and then I'll do on Sunday. So hopefully I've decided that, you know what, I'm just going to keep, it's too close to the race now. I'm just going to run this 10K at 1:30. So it's just like, I'm going to run this 10K doing cycles of 1:30 running, 1:30 walking, with occasional stops to get my picture made with characters along the course. But
as long as you are ahead of the balloon ladies, you'll be fine.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
Yeah. No, the pace. Well, yeah. When I do my cycles, I'm coming out to about 13 minutes a mile is what I've been pretty much averaging, like 12:50 to 13:10 a mile or whatever. So yeah, I'm about 3 minutes ahead of the balloon ladies. So that's per mile. So I think we're good. Yeah. Anyway, that is my running update for the week, Adam. I just wanted to let
good
you know
job.
that.
I'm glad you're getting back in there.
Now, as speaking of, running, this Disney 10K that I'm running from, you are coming down here to visit with us during that week. And I sent you some missives this week of like, I need you to buy this kind of ticket and make these park reservations. And you gave me a thumbs up, which I'm assuming means that you did it.
Yeah, I did it. First of all, the Disney website sucks. I don't know if you're aware of this.
Oh God, yes.
I went there, and first of all, it's not obvious how to buy a ticket, Daniel. You would think there would be, big, bold, buttons or letters or whatever. Buy your tickets here, whatever. No, you have to like scroll through menus that have like 150 things in there, All
right, can you throw the window up where you put your browser next to us?
It is up. Yeah.
Okay. Just throw a browser over there. Just go to disneyworld.disney.go.com or just
disneyworld.disney.
It should be, well, it should default. Right? That's the main site. Yeah.
Oh, this site can't be reached.
All right. Type in Disney World. Just find the Disney World website.
Shit, my mouse just went dead. I may not be able to do it. My mouse just died.
Technology show, ladies and gentlemen. A technology show.
I feel like it needed to be charged, and it wasn't.
Adam can't use his mouse. Let me just describe this for people who don't know. On the front page of Disney, top row, parks and tickets. It's right there. It's literally right there on the main page, parks and tickets. Now, it's not bigger than anything else, but it is a menu option directly on the main page. And then there's a section down at the bottom that says theme park tickets.
Well, and you're like, oh, do the park hopper. And I didn't, it's been a while since I bought tickets, and I didn't realize that the park hopper that you select regular ticket. And then as you're going through, because regular ticket is literally the only option.
Yeah.
And so I kept hunting around for, well, I see regular ticket, but where's park hopper? And then they had an article about park hopper, but then when you click on it, it takes you to regular ticket, and they don't explain to you, oh, that's an add-on that you do.
Why didn't you call
later? I don't know. I'm like, I'm a big boy. I can do this on my own. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to try it. So then I click on regular ticket, and then I say, oh, also they had a technical snafu because some pop-up came up that just said loading, and it was spinning the whole time.
Oh,
like I was going through the pages and this thing stayed there. It was, I don't know what it was, but anyway, I'm out of breath. So anyway,
you exhausted yourself.
I exhausted myself. So finally I figured it out, and I had logged in. So because Mark and I had gone to Disney before, it knew him. I was able to add him and do all that.
Sweet.
We got it. Also, I practically had to sell a kidney.
Yeah, it should have cost you about $1,000. Yeah,
it was like $1,100 or something like that. I was like, Mark was like, I didn't realize the tickets were going to be that expensive. I mean, this is a commitment of money. That's an iPad Pro right there for some tickets.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming since you are taking the master bedroom that you are paying for part of the.
We are paying for the yes. I just have to give you money at some point.
Yes. You'll be happy to know the hotel was cheaper than the tickets.
Yeah, it's done. So anyway, it's done. I heard your podcast. I appreciate you both diligently planning. I'm a little disappointed that we can't do the space restaurant because that was touted so much.
Don't count that out. There are tricks to get in there. So the thing about Disney restaurants is
but you've already booked, restaurants.
No, it doesn't.
So.
What we're going to be that it's not only a restaurant, it's also a bar. So and we can do standby at the bar. So we can actually go and ask and say, can we, how big is the line to wait for the bar? And they'll say it's either 30 minutes or they'll say it's 10 minutes or they'll say, oh, it's an hour and a half or, so then we can decide whether we want to stand in that line or not. And if we want to stand in the line, then you'll still get to ride the space elevator up. You still get to go into the restaurant and see all the things. You're just sitting at the bar in the back of the restaurant and,
Okay. But anyway, everything that you guys...
And you can order food and stuff.
Yeah, if you... those who don't listen to Don't Do Disney, they planned it with food in mind because Mark and I consider ourselves trailer trash gourmands. Well, just me on the trailer trash side because Mark, I don't think he's trailer trash. But I never lived in a trailer, so I guess I shouldn't describe myself that way.
Are you happy that I didn't mention that we're stopping by Jollibee on the way back from the airport the first night for dinner?
It doesn't matter. Mark said they don't have to eat at Jollibee with me. Or they can, but he said I could just go get that for my lunch while I'm working. I'm like, it's fine. We can all eat it together. No, I mean he could get an Uber or something.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so yeah, you did that and the attractions that I mentioned and of course the shows because we like a show and fireworks, all of that sounded great. So it sounds like we're going to have a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, sure. And you get to watch my fat ass try to run 10K. And
that's why we're there. So that is the main attraction, honestly.
Yeah. And you get to see my sister again because you met my sister the last time we were down in Florida at theme parks together. So... let's see. Was that all you were going to say about the Disney trip?
That's all I'm going to say. That we got it done. It was very expensive, and their website sucks. Yeah, cruise ships, Disney. Yes, all their websites suck.
But what are you going to do? I don't know what's going on with the Anchor ads. So. Even though it still says that campaign is active on our account, I don't think it actually went, at least the podcast I listened to this week, because, unlike you, I listen to our shows every week to make sure that, everything posted correctly and everything. Gary will tell me if anything doesn't post correctly on most shows that I'm on. So, but I didn't hear an Anchor ad in the show that I'd say. And here's the reason that I care about this. Okay. I care about this because, as you know, my other podcast, Don't Do Disney Without Us, is also on Anchor. And on that show, we don't do commercials and we actually submit video to Spotify. We upload the video. So we upload the same video version that we upload to YouTube. We also upload to our Anchor account, which converts it down to audio for those that are just listening to audio. And if you listen to our podcast on Spotify, then you get the video and the audio. You just get the video. You don't get any audio if you watch on Spotify. Anyway, my thought is that the only reason that I didn't consider us posting videos on Spotify or this version of the show as video on Spotify is because we were running commercials and you can't do the commercial stuff if you run video because you can't split your videos and then they can't do an interstitial as easily on video as they can on audio, right?
Right. So audio, I think we knew that it was going to be gone though, didn't we? Because
we did. I expected it. I expected it to be gone but it still said it was active and I was like, oh, okay. So if I'm assuming it's gone, I don't care anymore. And I think probably going forward, you're going to get the YouTube channel will definitely get the video and also Spotify will probably also get the video. So until this get new listeners campaign that we're doing really works and we get so many listeners that we're like, okay, we're going to add back ads. Got to pay for Disney, But at that point, then we just transition to be YouTube only, and then you can, we can talk about this. I'm just going to talk about this late in the show. We'll talk about it. Yeah. Some things happened at YouTube this week that we had to redo some stuff on our channel, and I wanted to talk about that because I guess YouTube is now making a play in the podcasting sphere. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. All right. All of that being said, let's do this.
3, 2, 1. Contact is the secret, is the moment when everything happens. Contact is the answer, is the reason that everything happens. Contact. Let's make contact.
Excellent. It is the contact segment of the show. This is the segment of the show where we read your segment of the show where we read your emails and play your voicemails. Adam, do we have any emails this week?
No, we do not.
Okay, excellent. Actually, we did, but it was for me. It wasn't for the show.
They don't need to know that because it was specifically said not to be read on the show.
Oh, you know what, though? We did have an email. Someone wanted to join level 13. Let's see. Theo wants to join level... Wait, he just sent... There's no message.
That's okay. There doesn't need to be a message because you can... All we do is reply to the email with instructions on what they do.
Wow. I'm just saying. It's like... Anyway, so we had someone join Level 13. If you don't know what Level 13 is, it's our behind the scenes club. This is something that other podcasts do. You know, they'll have an extra tier of stuff so you get some extra content. In our case, once we finish recording this show, we actually keep talking for several hours sometimes. Let's be real, for about an hour, an hour and a half, whatever. The point is, we record that and we put it out as an after show on the Level 13 feed.
And I will say sometimes the after show is better than the actual show. So, you never know. You never know.
But it's just, a little bonus thing. And I know you're thinking to yourself, oh, okay, this is another one of those things. This is how you pay for your podcast. You get to, charge us $1 or $2 or whatever a month to join your little club. No, it's absolutely free. All you have to do is send us an email, contact@mix-podcast.com and say, hey, I want to join. Or I guess just don't say anything. Just send us a blank message.
Just in the subject line, just say level 13. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, and then you can join level 13. But let's get to our phone calls this evening, shall we, Adam? Hello.
It's Saturday, March 11th, and I was thinking about Daniel today while I was listening to Archer's little show.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny because he was talking about his bowling team
Yes.
and how they were the Beatles.
Yes.
And I loved how he pointed out that it was
George.
that the fourth member was Indian, dot, not feather, as though the name Rohit would not be the dead giveaway. Did you catch that, Daniel?
I did.
When you listened to his little show?
I did. Yes.
He was talking about his trophy. He posted a picture of it on Twitter.
Oh, I'm not on
Twitter.
Twitter.
You don't tweet anymore because now you toot.
Right.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Bacon, Woodhaven.
Okay, I'm sure people are going to tell me, oh my God, Adam, you're so Southern redneck hick racist. But I'm going to say something anyway.
Yeah.
Kathy Bacon is part Native American or completely Native American, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So and you know how Native Americans have those names like Wolf on the Sunset.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, donkey squatting on a rock, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like her Native American name.
We can certainly tell you are not a Native American because you would suck at coming up with names.
Well, I mean, they have names like that, and I assume that they're just Becky, at work or whatever, but not all of them. Yeah. So I'm wondering, if Kathy Bacon has one of those names. So Kathy Bacon, you can certainly let us know. But then I was thinking, Kathy of Bacon could kind of be, Bacon sizzling in a frying pan. That could be her, I don't know.
So what does this have to do with Archer's show?
Well, because she was talking about Indian, Native American versus Indian.
No, she was. But the point is that Archer made Archer. So here's the point of the call, Adam, because I know you don't listen to other podcasts. But you see, Archer, our good friend Archer, has a podcast of his own.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He does a podcast?
He does.
Gosh.
And on that podcast, he was talking about his bowling team, which is made up of his brother George. His name is Paul. And then their third member's name was John, right? So you get it? John, George, Paul, and their fourth member's name was Rohit. But Archer said the fourth guy on the team was an Indian. And then he made the point of saying dot, not feather, which is a really inappropriate way of distinguishing between India and Native Americans. And, but the point, Kathy Bacon's point of this whole thing was, why did you feel the need to qualify? His name was Rohit.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of what I just said is Native Americans have names like, that's why that brought it up.
Congratulations.
They have names like a swan, floating on the gentle river.
Right.
But Indians in India have names like Rohit and Sandeep and etc.
Japneep. Abhishek.
Shafali.
Let's go to our next phone. Ragini. Let's go to our next phone call, shall we?
Hey, this is Bacon. I'm just calling to lodge a complaint about the shitty show notes.
Yes.
Yeah. This is it. This is the complaint.
Okay.
Where are the great show notes? Where's the description of what was discussed?
Yeah, I'm going to go check this out.
It doesn't even mention on here. If I was Taylor, I'd be mad. You don't even mention that he was a guest, a guest on the show. So.
Right? Yeah. Woodhaven. That is true, Adam. Let me go over and look at our show notes right now.
Nothing has been edited. Nothing has been edited. If you're, that's coming up later.
This would be last week's show. Let's just read our show notes real quickly here, shall we? We had a conversation after we recorded this show about who would be responsible for writing show notes for the episode. Adam volunteered to do it. If everything goes as planned, you won't be reading this description. You will be reading the comprehensive show notes from Adam. Oh, how you will delight in knowing what information is talked about on the show in the flowery prose of someone with complete command of the English language. Of course, if he forgets to do it, then you'll be reading this crap. Feel free to call and lodge a complaint about it.
No, wait. I just want to say, first of all, I'm fine doing it. But what I thought we agreed to was that I was going to go back to the past 10 episodes in a chunk and do all of them to put in whatever.
I assume you would have started backwards. I assume you would have started with the most recent show.
And so I didn't realize I was signing up for doing the most recent one right then, but I'm happy to do that. Also, you'll need to tell me what day you're posting them because that's when I'll need to go in and update the text of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can update the text anytime.
Well, true, I can. But if somebody downloaded it before I updated it, they're going to still get the crappy show notes, right?
That's true. They would, yes. Unless they went to our website, mix-podcast.com. Anyway.
No, because there are no show notes there because we posted on Anchor, so we don't get...
Yeah, but there's a link to the episode which has the show notes.
True.
That's how I'm reading them on the web, just like I had done that. It was weird. That was how I got to it. It's literally how I got to our show notes.
Thank you for your call, Kathy.
Like one of those people, you're just like, no, that's not, you can't do it. You can't get to it that way. It's like, that's literally how I just got to it. So let's go to our third and final phone call here, Adam.
Hi, it's me, Bacon Bed.
Yes.
So the assignment was not complete. Boo-hoo. I would complain, but honestly, I do that too. So I'm in the same boat. We're not going to gaslight you. I'm not going to be petty, but
yeah.
Maybe next time at least use Grammarly or something. They'll basically write it for you. That's what I did through most of college.
Okay. I don't think Grammarly We'll write
When
it
she
for you.
says the assignment is not completed, is this another call about my
Yes,
show notes?
of course it is. Of course it is.
Okay.
Yes, it's another call
Okay.
about it. But
Can you tell me what gaslighting means again? Because I always forget.
Why don't you ask ChatGPT?
It never works for me anymore. Since Microsoft took over a couple of weeks ago, I get this, something went wrong. I could do that, but I wasn't prepared.
Gaslighting is the subjective experience of having one's reality repeatedly questioned by another.
Okay. So it's like psychological, almost reprogramming or torture in some way, because you're like, it's basically just lying to someone.
You watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
There are 3 lights.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I thought, but I just wanted a refresher.
Okay. And that's it. Thank you for everyone who called. By the way, we did have a little more contact this week because, as you know, I have been uploading some clips to our TikTok account. Some clips of our show have been going up to TikTok.
Yeah, how are the views there? Because like I said earlier, I don't remember if it was on this recorded thing or the thing we did before, but as we were preparing. But the first video that you uploaded, the short that you did on YouTube, got 400 and something views.
That was on YouTube, yeah.
The second one that you uploaded, also on YouTube, got 15 views. And so I don't know if YouTube decided they don't like us anymore, and so that first one they fed to a bunch of people, and then the second one they didn't. But how's it going on the TikTok?
When these are random, like the algorithms are trying to find videos that people will like and respond to, and when you post your very first video, they're going to send it out to way more people than they would later because they're trying to figure out, what kind of people like this? Like what kind of people are going to be drawn to this kind of content.
So they just realized, not many people are going to like this. So
the
we're
answer
reducing.
the answer was, Adam, not a lot. So no, we've had 822 views of that first video we put up. And then the second, third, and fourth haven't performed to that level, but they're in a couple hundred apiece. So it's not
okay. Well, that's better than YouTube from 400 to 15.
Well, keep in mind. All right. Here's the thing about welcome to the world of YouTube analytics. These are real time analytics. So you're looking at views as of right now. It's like so.
I feel like I need to like make faces or something. All kinds of crazy. I mean, I know the audio people are like, what is he doing? I'm making faces.
Yeah, but you're talking about YouTube Shorts, which they don't have thumbnails. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But when I go here and look, let's see, our shorts over on, the Taylor the Co-Pilot short didn't do very well. The Tron one did, and I think you're right. It probably because it has Tron in the title.
Taylor didn't draw many viewers.
Well, no, people aren't searching for Taylor the Co-Pilot, right? So
Taylor the Latte Boy, not Taylor the Co-Pilot.
The name of the clip is Taylor the Co-Pilot because I fucked up and called him Taylor the Co-Pilot. That was the whole point of the clip. I can probably change it a little bit. I can try some new description.
Because you put podcast stuff as the topic for right now, but I don't believe you ended the contact segment yet.
I haven't ended the contact.
Okay,
I was trying to say, follow. I had other contact this week.
Okay,
and I was trying to explain to you how this came about is I had posted some TikToks and on the TikTok, anyway, a certain podcast that I might be obsessed with followed us.
Oh, nice.
And so, we were already following them, but anyway, they followed us. And so I messaged them. So we have, thing. No, I
could help you through your audio, guys.
No, I did not. I told them that their audio was fine and everything was great. Here's the thing though. The host of we're talking about everything from top to bottom is the name of the podcast. But the host of that show are Thomas and Brett. And so as I was chatting several messages back and forth over the course of some time, and I just asked it's like, wait, is this Thomas or Brett? And of course, me being a lazy ass, I just said, by the way, is this, are you T or B? And
are you top or bottom?
and then he came back with T with a smiley face, and I was thinking, okay, it was Thomas and everything. And then he said, oh wait, no, this is Brett. I thought you were asking if I was a top or bottom. So there you go.
And you're like, well, I am infatuated with you both, so.
I mean, I already knew.
It's a question I might ask in the future.
Right. I already knew that Brett was a top because
I see.
He made someone come without, just by fucking them.
Nice. Good.
That was a story.
Wow.
That was a story from you can hear that and other engaging stories. No, I'm kidding. It actually, you know what, Adam? If we did a podcast when we were in our early 20s, that's what it would be. Because we didn't start doing our podcast, so you were in your late 20s and I was in my 30s, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I did one where we talked more about sexual stuff.
No, don't get me wrong.
The Adam and Maddie show.
They're not a couple, and
right.
They're just best friends, and they're not. They did a show about dating and a show about kinks and stuff. So I feel like they kind of take the gayish approach to like, oh, each show has to have a topic, and we're going to do a topic and then talk about that topic, right? Where you and I, we're too, we can't. They didn't have topics back when we started. They didn't have topics.
That's
how long we've been doing
each of our shows has chemistry,
but no content.
But no topic, no content, no topics. Just chemistry. Our whole show is full of chemistry. It's
weird. Yeah. Anyway, so I reached out to them and I said hello to them.
So that was really contact from you to someone else, not from someone else to us.
They reply. I mean, don't we, when we post the podcast and ask people to email us or to call us, aren't we basically doing the same thing I did on Mix Minus? I'm reaching out to someone. I mean, on TikTok.
Sure.
You just don't want to. All right. Now we're leaving the contact segment.
Oh, good.
Officially. Shit.
Nope.
That's not how you leave the contact segment, Adam. That's crazy talk. All right, now we can talk about podcast stuff because that was the next thing on the list.
Well, we were kind of talking about podcast stuff. So here's what I wanted to say. I mean, I've already been besmirched.
How?
By two callers because you put in there, oh, Adam was supposed to do. Well, look, I am busy. Mm-hmm. Watching so much television. I know everybody's like, oh my God, Adam, all you do in the evening is watch TV. But my brain is so dead after work. I just want to put on something and just like veg out.
Yeah. So
what I was thinking is, oh, you know what? There are all of these people that need to earn a little bit of extra money over there on Fiverr or, whatever you might want to use. And, 10 or 20 episodes is 20 to 30 hours worth of listening. And I don't know what we talked about. So that means I'm going to have to go back and listen. And our shows are wonderful, but 30 hours is a commitment, right?
It is. I kind of figured you would start with the most recent show because the topics were already on the Trello, and then start going backwards because, maybe you only want to do 5, maybe you only want to do 6.
I don't know.
So
I was thinking 10 to 20. And anyway, so because that's what we discussed. Yeah. So I looked on Fiverr and I found a highly starred person. I wrote a nice intro. I said, hey, we do this LGBTQ plus podcast and we've been doing it for a long time. It's a really good quality podcast, but we're really starting to try to get more listeners. And so our descriptions suck. And this was a person who had specifically said they focus on show notes.
Okay.
SEO, links, calls to action, like all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I said, but their rates they were for shorter shows. And so I said, hey, can you let me know what kind of rate you'd be for like this, this length of show, plus I want to do a bunch at the start because we're trying to get on Spotify or get recommended on Spotify.
Yes.
And I got a response back that just said, so-and-so read your thing. And then that's it. And then it said they're no longer active or something. So I'm like, wow, they looked at LGBT. Hell no, I'm not writing descriptions for an LGBTQ plus. But I don't know. I mean,
I love how you think that's the thing. Like,
I'm
did
making
you name
them
our show?
homophobic. Yeah, I said mixed minus. I gave them a link.
She probably went and listened to it and just like, oh fuck no, I'm not gonna.
There's no way.
No way.
So I'm trying. So I think I'm just gonna pay somebody to do it for the chunk. I mean,
we'll talk about this.
Going forward, I will do it myself. But I mean, for the first chunk, I may just pay somebody.
So here's the thing. I've since done some further reading into what we need to submit to Spotify. And it doesn't have to be that comprehensive. We should mention the topics we talk about, which currently sometimes I do in the description, sometimes I don't. It just depends on whether I'm there or not. So 2 things that I want to tell you.
Yes.
Number 1, I will let you know when I've finished editing the show this week, and I would like for you to just do the episode description after I've got it, and then you can hit the publish button after you're done.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
And all you need to do, if you just do it when I tell you that I'm done, then all you have to do is just go to Trello and then just look at our topics, and then you can write something about it.
Right. So let's just not move anything.
Right.
I know we don't normally, but just
Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is when you're going back, if you go to the little 3-dot menu over on the far right-hand side of Trello, you can go to the archived items list. And what we do every time we use a topic on a show, it goes over into the used on show swim lane. And then those are archived. So it should pretty much be in the order of the shows as they're archived in there. So those are all the things that we've talked about going all the way back to as long as we've been using Trello. So those are all of the topics that we've been talking about. I don't know if they have dates associated with them yet.
I see archive all cards in this list, but I don't see anything on that button that says view archive because there's a
Okay.
But that's okay. We don't have to do tech support.
We're gonna do it right in this moment. Go to the little 3-dot menu. Underneath the word stickers, there's a little 3-dot that says more. Click on that. Then there's a little section in the first.
Oh, that 3-dot. I thought you meant the 3-dot on the actual column. You see there's 3 dots on the column?
Yeah, not on the column. Over on the top right. The far
There's
top
more
right,
in archived items. Okay, you think that's in order of the entire time we've been doing this show and like every card
actually,
is
it
there?
is. Actually, and here's the other thing. If you open any card, you can see right in it. It says Adam Burns archived this card yesterday at 11:27 p.m. I moved that card on from potential show topics to on deck on March 10th. So right there.
That's still dangerous because then I have to go and look at the dates and figure out, okay, when did we archive this? Was it the next week or the same week that we did it?
It should give you an idea. And the other thing that I want you to know is for the most part, you only need to listen to the show up until like the news game or something because news game and test kitchen aren't going to feed into the description. And we usually only talk about a small topic after that before we end. So really,
that's true.
So you don't need to listen to all hour and a half of the show. You can pretty much cut it off.
I may still pay someone, but I'll keep that in mind.
How are you? What service are you going to look at to find someone here? Are you wanting someone in the audience to volunteer? What are you going to pay to do this? So someone needs to write.
No, I don't know what I'm going to pay because I wanted to look on Fiverr and see what people charge.
Okay.
And so I don't want to promise any. I mean, if someone wants to volunteer to do it and they want to be paid, we can certainly negotiate that. I'm not going to give an amount here, but if you want to email me and throw out an amount, I will consider it, and I would, but because I am going to be paying more than likely so that I can get a chunk of them done and I don't have to do it. So plus I figure if it's someone who specializes, if they have a lot of reviews and they have good reviews and they specialize in only podcast notes, then they must know what they're doing. Right.
Yeah. You would think.
So anyway, but yeah, if you're interested, just contact me, or if you want to do it for free, hell, but I will pay.
Okay. Then I think then we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to still talk about some YouTube stuff at the end of the episode. But just as a teaser to that, just so you guys know, we going from this week forward, actually from last week forward, we will be posting on YouTube as well as our normal site. So we will be on both YouTube and on our normal feed. So if you ever wanted to see the video of our show, it's on YouTube. And starting probably tonight, it'll be on Spotify as video. But just want to let you know, we are going to be on both platforms for a while because YouTube's not giving us a way to do an RSS, or else we would just move all the way over there. Anyway, that's not important, Adam. What is important is this. News game. It's the news game. It's the news game. What questions will he ask? It is the Mix Minus news game. It's a segment of the show where Adam will read me five questions from the New York Times news quiz, and I, using only my head, brain, and mouth words, will give the correct answers to those questions. These are multiple choice. I will attempt to answer them without consulting what the choices are, but I am always free to ask for them without penalty. After the 5 questions, we will go into a bonus round whereby Adam will pull out a ancient Trivial Pursuit card from well before when I was born, and I will try to answer as many questions as he can read to me within 60 seconds for bonus points. There we go. Adam, what is our first question on the old news quiz this evening?
So the first question, let me get my soundboard set up so that let's see. Okay, I'm good there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So question number 1, intelligence reviewed by U.S. officials suggested which group was behind the attack last year on the Nord Stream pipelines that carried natural gas from Russia to Europe.
Isn't
this last week?
Isn't this last week? Isn't it Ukrainian sympathizers or something like that? This is last week's news quiz,
There's no quiz this week. There's no quiz this week.
Well, you only read the first 4 questions on last week's news quiz, presumably, right? Because we only did 4 questions last week. So just find some more questions off that when there was 11. There's 11
I'll
questions.
try, but look, audience, if I read something that I read last week, I apologize.
Okay. I'll tell you. I'll be honest.
Okay. So President Biden's proposed budget announced this week included a plan to extend the solvency of Medicare beyond. No, I read that one already.
You read that one, and there was 2 choices, and that's why there's only 4 questions.
I really don't remember what I read. Alex Murdaugh, a prominent South Carolina lawyer.
You already read this one.
Really?
Yes. It was a murder. He got life in prison.
Russia launched its biggest aerial attack on Ukraine in weeks on Thursday. The barrage included 6 of Russia's most advanced missiles called Kinzhals, or Kinzhals, I don't know, which are notable in what aspect? Why are they notable?
They're like hypersonic or something? What are my choices?
They are bioweapons. They are nuclear weapons. They date to World War I. They fire from drones, or they fly at hypersonic speeds.
Yeah, I think they fly at hypersonic speeds.
That is correct.
Sweet.
Number 2.
Question number 2.
The Manhattan District Attorney's Office signaled to Donald Trump's lawyers that he could soon face criminal charges.
Yes.
What is the subject of the inquiry?
It's the porn star paying off Stormy Daniels. But I don't remember.
I read
Did you
that
read
one?
No, I can't remember if you did or not. It's fine. Yes, Stormy Daniels.
Hush money paid to a porn star.
And who amongst us hasn't paid?
Number 3.
Yes.
After a 2-year investigation, the Justice Department said this week that it had found a pattern of discriminatory policing in what city?
Oh, it's in the South. Give me the Southern answers on the choices.
Louisville.
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, that's tough. They're both. You know, my ex-husband was from Oklahoma City and now lives in Louisville. So I'm gonna go just further south, like Kentucky, Louisville.
Is Kentucky further south than? That is correct.
Kentucky further south than
Oklahoma City?
Yeah, isn't Oklahoma? Oh God, now I gotta find. I'm a product of the American school system. They don't teach us maps. Let's see. So let me go to Google Maps and just scroll way the fuck out. Kentucky is here, and Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma.
I always picture
is
Kentucky as higher up than Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma is further south. Oklahoma's right on top of Texas. I didn't know that. It doesn't change my answer, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, private text messages made public through a lawsuit described Donald Trump as a demonic force and said of Trump, quote, "I hate him passionately."
Hate him.
Who sent these texts?
Could you imagine if someone sent text and then other people would read them on the internet and then make fun of me for having these things? Wouldn't that be crazy? It was Tucker Carlson, Adam. Tucker Carlson.
That is correct. Okay, number 5. A new Girl Scout cookie has been in high demand, swiftly selling out and popping up on resale websites for much higher prices.
Yes.
What is the new cookie's name?
It is crack. No, I think this is the one because when I first read it, all I could think about was Taylor the Latte Boy trying to get the raspberry strudel toaster strudels, which they still list as making on the website. If you go to the Toaster Strudels website, it still shows that they make that product, but they're sold out everywhere. No one has them in stock anywhere in the entire United States, even online. So I feel like they're raspberry cookies. What are the choices?
Well, the one that's raspberry is Raspberry Rally, and that's the only one that's raspberry.
Then Raspberry Rally.
Raspberry Rally is correct, Daniel. And that was 5.
I'm thinking maybe we should put raspberries on the topic board and talk about them today because they're clearly very popular. So if we talk about raspberry rallies, so when you're writing the show notes this week, remember raspberry rallies because raspberries are very, very popular.
Okay.
Was that 5?
That was 5.
That was. Oh, I didn't do the final question or anything like that. I didn't get to do anything.
You didn't, but that was 5.
All right. Well, in that case, let's move it into the bonus round. That means let's put 60 seconds up on the big board.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
What Manhattan theater did architecture critic Paul Goldberger dub Art Deco's true shrine?
I don't know.
Radio City Music Hall. What critter is the Iggy short for Iggy Pop? What critter?
What critter? Cockroach.
The iguana. Who was the first U.S. president to adopt the informal version of his first name? Adopt the informal version of his first name.
Do you not think I'm understanding the questions? I'm
just making sure.
Chester Arthur.
Jimmy Carter.
Oh, Jimmy.
How many of every 10 victims infected by Ebola virus will die in 2 days?
Oh, like 2 or 3.
9.
Oh.
What does the slang term?
Oh, so sorry, Adam. There's no time to finish.
I don't even know how many. You didn't get any.
I don't know, but I got 5 on the news quiz, which, I didn't really need any of those bonus points. Anyway, but it's not really fair because that was last week's news.
I don't know why they decided not to put up news quiz this week.
I mean, in fairness, it has been a pretty boring week.
Those news quiz writers are lazy.
They're lazy. They took St. Patrick's Day off, Adam. That's what it is.
Oh, shit.
What?
There is one for today, but it's sorted in the middle of February. Anyway, it's too late now.
There is one what?
There is a quiz for today,
Oh,
but it's sorted all the way down in February.
well, I'm not taking it again.
Okay.
I'd say you could read it to me next week, but we're not doing a show next week. So, all right. Each and every single week, Adam, our executive producer, Cyclone, sends us a voluminous pile of researched material. And I realize now that we're on video that I should probably have like a fake ream of paper or something that I could wave around. But I don't. So just imagine
I
that
tried to put it up in our video last week, and it's a PDF, and for some reason the scrolling in Google Chrome while trying to cast the tab, because I'm using Chromecast for one of the, anyway, it didn't work well, so I'm not doing it this week.
That's fine. That's fine.
There you go.
Anyway, these are all things, this research material that he sends us that I don't have, but pretend like I am shaking right now, are things that have happened on the day that we are recording in some other year. So these are all things that happened on March 17th of some other year, even though it's now well into March 18th because Adam was late getting here. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is for me to say to you, Adam, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm not wearing green, but no one pinched me.
Did you like not wear green on purpose, hoping that someone would pinch you?
I really I don't own green clothing. I have a couple of shirts that you might say are like olive, but I wasn't really in the mood to wear those today, so.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's green on there or not. On my stitch. Yeah, there's some green on there. Anyway, yeah, happy St. Patrick's. I didn't do anything special. We didn't have corned beef. I had corned beef and cabbage on Sunday for my nephew's birthday.
I'm not a big fan of corned beef. So, I mean, I'll eat it, but I'm not a huge fan.
I have to agree with you there because I was about to say, you know what? Corned beef is amazing on rye with some sauerkraut and some Thousand Island dressing and Swiss cheese, right? Basically just, a Reuben.
Right.
And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Once I learned that you could order a Rachel, I don't order a Reuben anymore. I always order the Rachel. A Rachel is just a Reuben made with pastrami instead of corned beef. So I prefer pastrami over corned beef is what I'm trying to say. I've
never had a Reuben, by the way.
You've never had a Reuben?
I've never had a Reuben. No. You are shocked. You're like
my
so
mouth.
shocked.
My mouth is a
I've never
gape.
had a Reuben. Yeah, ever.
Ever?
Never. No.
I mean, certainly you've been to delis.
Yeah, I have been to delis, but I've never had a Reuben. I've never had one.
Oh my God, they're the most amazing sandwich ever made, next to a Rachel, of course. But you could do it at home. Maybe sauerkraut and pastrami and some Thousand Island.
Okay.
Rye bread, Swiss cheese. You want to butter both sides and cook it like a grilled cheese. But,
so you need to like toast it up. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's got to be pressed and crispy and the cheese has got to melt, right? Just like the sauerkraut and the pastrami. I'm talking about a Rachel, not a Reuben. Pastrami and the Thousand Island. It just goes perfectly together. It's an amazing sandwich. Like I used to think as a kid, like the Monte Cristo was like the greatest sandwich ever because it had like powdered sugar on it and shit. It's like, oh my God, they deep fried a sandwich. That's amazing. Like, do you remember like Bennigan's Monte Cristos?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure I've had Monte Cristos before. I can't remember if I've ever ordered Bennigan's, but I do know what you're talking about.
But the one in Bennigan specifically was battered and deep fried. Like they would make the sandwich and then dip it in batter and then deep fry the bitch. And then
I've definitely at least seen it on a menu.
And then sprinkle powdered sugar and serve it with some raspberry jam.
Does Bennigan's even still exist?
No, it doesn't. You would know that if you listened to Pod as My Co-Pilot because they had an entire whole rant about it. Anyway. Hold on. I have to pause this. Our executive producer is saying that he has raspberry strudels. Are you talking about raspberry toaster strudels? Like, because if you do actually have raspberry toaster strudels, like Taylor the Latte Boy will pay you hundreds of dollars for like a box in Kroger. I don't think so. I don't think that you do. Because
You're
they're
calling
sold
Cyclone
out.
a liar?
No. I'm just saying. I know that it's just like let me just make sure it was a raspberry toaster. Yeah, it was in my search. Pillsbury raspberry toaster strudel. And by the way, if you type in raspberry toaster strudel, one of the Google suggestions is, have they stopped making raspberry toaster strudels? It's like there are hundreds of people, thousands of people on the internet asking about these things. And they're listed on the Pillsbury site. Like, yeah, look, shop the product. You click on the shop the product button and it says, you can get this at any one of the following things here, right? Like shop online, select a store. If I go there, I can choose from Amazon Fresh and Walmart and Publix and Instacart. And every single one of those, if I follow through on it, I will get an alternate product. Like, item out of stock, or here's a strawberry toaster strudel or something like that. It's like it's the mystery of the Pillsbury raspberry toaster strudel. They won't come out and say that they've canceled it, but it's not available anywhere in the world.
So on Walmart, on Walmart.com, it does not come up, but it instead of it being a different brand or something like that, it just puts up different flavors like strawberry and cream cheese, strawberry, cinnamon roll, like all of those. But yeah.
See right there. I mean, Cyclone, that is a strawberry toaster strudel. That's not raspberry. Pillsbury strawberry toaster. Yeah, strawberry toaster strudels. You could trip over us. I mean, they're like there's a billion of those in the universe. But apparently, by the way, I've never had a raspberry toaster strudel. But apparently, Taylor the Latte Boy says they are the shit. Like they. I
don't like raspberry flavored things.
This all came on a conversation because for his 50th birthday, right? He for his breakfast he wanted to get these raspberry toaster strudels that he loved, and he couldn't find them anywhere. I think at least that's how I remember hearing it on his podcast. I could be wrong because sometimes I'm not fully listening. Sometimes I'm listening.
It's
while
really a
driving.
first world problem, isn't it? I mean, I feel like that's a first world problem.
It is. All right, back to our previously scheduled test kitchen here. I have to get back over to the thing. Let's see. I haven't said a single thing that's happened on March 17th.
Well, you said Happy St. Patrick's and corned beef and cabbage day.
All I've said. On March 17th of 2016, Gameloft, in collaboration with Disney, launches Disney's Magic Kingdoms for iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and Windows Phone.
Is that a game?
Yeah, I think it's a mobile game.
Oh, okay.
It's a mobile game. Chat room is taunting me with raspberry toaster strudel.
I see.
But
okay.
you know what? You can save it to your list, but I guarantee you they're out of stock. All right. If they're not out of stock, then just buy some. I will provide you with an address and I'll pay you for them. Let's see. On this day, on March 17th, 1905, Franklin Roosevelt married Eleanor Roosevelt. Did you watch that Roosevelt documentary?
No.
Had Gillian Anderson playing Eleanor Roosevelt and Kiefer Sutherland playing Teddy. You know what? It wasn't. It was. There was a series called First Ladies.
Okay.
I want to say it's on
History Channel or
no? I want to say it's on Showtime.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but okay.
And it's really good because it has. Let me just make sure that it's First Ladies. The First Lady is what the name of the series. It is. Oh, you can watch it on Fubo, but it is on Showtime. It has Viola Davis as Michelle Obama, Gillian Anderson as Eleanor Roosevelt, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Betty Ford. And it bounces back and forth between those three first ladies. And it's so well done. It's so well acted. If you have any interest in any of these people in history, you know, and the guy that plays Barack Obama is just dead on. He's like just dead on with the voice. Michelle. Anyway, where were we at? Yeah, they got married. Eleanor and Roosevelt got married. I feel like I'm getting sidetracked a lot right here.
You are.
March 17th of 2000, Julia Roberts collect $20 million for playing Erin Brockovich. I'm just going to skip over this because I think we've seen all this.
St. Patrick died on this day. That's why it's St. Patrick's Day, by the way.
Oh, so there in fact was a St. Patrick.
The very first St. Patrick's Day parade happened in 1601.
Wow.
Yeah, on this date.
That is amazing. You know what else happened on this date? Is a lot of people were born, and we'd like to say happy birthday to some of them now. Happy birthday, Hosier. You're 33. And really hot. Happy birthday, Rob Kardashian. You're 36. And not hot at all. Happy birthday, Rob Lowe. You've turned 59. Patrick Duffy turned 74. And Stormy Daniels, Adam. Stormy Daniels turned 44 years old.
All righty.
Also born on this day, Tamar Braxton, 46. Billy Corgan, 56. I'm trying to see that. Kurt Russell, 72. Anybody else that you say? Gary Sinise, 68.
Nobody I'm really interested in.
All right. Born on this day, but no longer with us, Nat King Cole and John Wayne Gacy. There's a couple for you. They should do an album together. It would be great. Anyway, from all of us to all of you, happy birthday.
Unforgettable.
All right. So now let's talk about this whole. I feel like we've just been talking about our podcast this whole time. And if you
I thought you were combining that with the other. Anyway, go ahead.
And in the post show, I'm probably going to ask you how we get some video from my side other than my camera. Like, can I send another video feed to you so that I could share some of my screens and stuff? So I'll probably ask you about that. All right. So here's the thing that happened. This past week, I was working on the YouTube channels, and I was putting some stuff up for our Don't Do Disney YouTube channel that Zach and I do. And the out of nowhere, this message pops up. Like, it wasn't there. Like, the night before, I had been working on doing some shorts and some videos and putting them on the channel. And then the next day, when I was on the channel, suddenly there was new pop-ups that I hadn't seen before. And I was like, hey, YouTube wants you to help you do your podcast and stuff. So you can start a new podcast, or you can, if you have an existing podcast, then follow this. So YouTube is getting into the podcasting game now. So we have registered both Don't Do Disney and our show, although our show under a different name. So it's our show under the Gay Mix, but it is but in the most frustrating way possible, because this YouTube getting into podcasts, the story goes is that then YouTube Music will then have podcasts in it, kind of like Spotify does right now. Like, you can subscribe to podcast on Spotify. So if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, which means you automatically have YouTube Music, then you could use YouTube to subscribe to podcasts, that way. None of that is set up yet. So there's no way for me to check to see if I've submitted it correctly or done anything, because the only podcast page that YouTube has at the moment doesn't even let you search through podcasts. But presumably, the way that they're making it sound and the way that it's been reported on is that once it launches, then you'll be able to search for podcasts on YouTube and stuff. So if you want to use YouTube as your preferred podcasting platform, then you could search through there.
So is it just, because this will be the first time they do audio only? Well, I guess music.
No, these are not audio. These are video podcasts. And then
these are video podcasts.
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
Okay. So like we'd be like Twit. We'd have a video version and an audio version.
Which we already do.
Okay.
If you go to our YouTube channel now, what is your shortcut to it?
Video.mix-podcast.com.
If you go to video.mix-podcast.com right now, you'll see there's a playlist on there called The Gay Mix, and that has our last 2 episodes at least on there.
But you can't add that to an RSS reader.
No, it doesn't look, not at this point. They haven't
podcatcher, whatever.
Yeah, they haven't gone that far into it. And I think they're just dipping their toes in it because nowadays a lot of podcasts are doing video. So, Spotify makes it really easy because we can process our audio, add it to the video, and then upload that to Spotify, and then they separate it out. So if you're an audio only person, they give you the audio, and if you're a video person, they show it. So I wish, it'd be great if YouTube did that as well. If YouTube had an RSS onto it, then I'm all in. Then we should, we would switch our feed around. Anyway. It's not important. I just wanted to bring that up. Keep it on the horizon if you're a big video podcast fan that YouTube is getting into podcast. I think right now it's youtube.com/podcast that will give you all the video podcasts that they recommend, but they're all corporate stuff. I mean, they're all, 300,000 subscriber stuff. No independent stuff up there yet. So, and there's no real way to search for it, but you can always go to our YouTube channel and watch us there if you want to. Yeah.
Do it.
Do it now, Adam. Do it. I never bring the volume down on that.
Couldn't you just figure out a way to edit it so that it starts?
I could.
Low, or I don't know.
I could, or I could just remember to reach over to the mixer.
True.
And slide it down. Adam, we stream live on Pride 48 every Friday night that we record. I say it that way because I want you to know that next Friday night, I will be in California at Auntie Scott's house. So we will not be doing a show next Friday night. So whatever that is, March.
I'll be here crying. Yeah.
And but we'll be back the week after that. Hey, it's my birthday. My birthday is in 10 days.
Oh,
so
wow.
March 28th. So
happy birthday in 10 days. You think I should just sit in this chair and cry for an hour and a half?
Possibly.
And stream it?
If you want to call us, our voicemail number is 707-61-DEATH. Our email address is contact@mixedminduspodcast.com. Oh my God, we're on.
This podcast is a proud member of the Pride 48 Podcasting Network. Check out more great shows at pride48.com.